Job is a wealthy, faithful man who honors God in all he does. Satan challenges Job's faith, claiming that Job only worships God because of his blessings. With God's permission, but not to harm Job's life, Satan strikes. In a short time, Job loses his wealth, children, and health. His wife urges him to curse God and die, but Job refuses. Three friends arrive and accuse him of wrongdoing, insisting his suffering must be punishment. Job defends his innocence and questions why he, a righteous man, is suffering. After much silence, God speaks from a whirlwind, reminding Job of his divine power and wisdom in creating and sustaining the universe. Humbled, Job repents for doubting God. God then restores Job's fortune, health, and family, giving him even more than before. Have you ever had a time when things were going really well, like everything in life just felt peaceful? Now imagine having all of that taken away in a single day. That's what happened to a man named Job. Job lived a long time ago in a place called Uz. He was known all over the land as a man of great character. People admired him, not just because he was wealthy, but because he was kind, generous, and deeply faithful to God. He had everything anyone could want: 7 sons, 3 daughters, thousands of sheep, camels, and oxen, a beautiful home, many servants, and land as far as the eye could see. But even with all his blessings, Job never grew proud or greedy. Every day he gave thanks to God and prayed for his children. He would even offer special sacrifices just in case one of his children had said or done something wrong without realizing it. Job loved his family. He loved God, and his life was peaceful. But far above the earth, in the heavenly realm, something was happening that would change everything. In heaven, a gathering was taking place. God was there, surrounded by angels, but among them came Satan, the accuser. God asked, "Where have you come from?" Satan replied, "From roaming the earth, going back and forth." God said, "Have you noticed my servant Job? There's no one like him. He is faithful, blameless, and turns away from evil." But Satan sneered, "Well, of course he honors you. You've given him everything. Take it all away, and he'll curse you to your face." So God allowed Satan to test Job, but said, "Do not lay a finger on his body." That very day, Job's peaceful world shattered. One servant ran up, out of breath. Raiders attacked and stole your oxen and donkeys. The workers were killed. I'm the only one who escaped. Another came right behind. Fire from heaven burned your sheep and shepherds. A third rushed in. Enemies took all your camels. The servants are gone. And then, with trembling lips, the last one spoke. Your children, they were eating together when a strong wind came and crushed the house. They're, they're all gone. Job stood there, broken. Everything he loved, gone in moments. He tore his robe, fell to the ground, and said, God gave and God has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord, even in the worst pain a person could imagine. Job worshipped, but Satan wasn't finished. He said to God, take away his health and he'll curse you. So God allowed one more test. Job was struck with painful sores from head to toe. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't sit or stand comfortably. He was alone, scraping his skin with a broken piece of pottery. Are you still holding on to your faith? Just curse God and die. But Job answered, should we accept only good from God and not trouble? Still, he refused to speak against God. Then came Job's three friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. When they saw Job from a distance, they didn't even recognize him. They sat with him for 7 days and said nothing. Sometimes silence is the best thing we can give someone who's hurting. Just being there can speak louder than words. But then they started talking. At first, they meant well, but their words hurt more than they helped. Job, one said, this wouldn't happen if you hadn't sinned. Just admit it, said another. God is just. You must have done something wrong. But Job cried out, I've done nothing to deserve this. I just want to speak to God, to understand why. Job didn't lose faith, but he was tired, confused, and heartbroken. He poured out his pain in long, poetic speeches, asking why the innocent suffer and wondering where God was in his pain. And then God spoke. From out of a whirlwind, a mighty voice answered Job. God said, who is this that questions my wisdom? Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Have you ever given orders to the morning or shown the dawn its place? Can you command the lightning or lead out the stars by name? God wasn't angry. He was revealing something bigger than Job's suffering. That God's wisdom stretches beyond what we can see. That even in pain, God is present. That the creator of the universe is still in control. Job listened and fell silent. He finally replied, I spoke of things too wonderful for me. Before I had heard about you, but now I have seen you with my own eyes. Job didn't get every answer, but he got something better. He met God at the middle of his pain. God then told Job's friends they had spoken wrongly. He asked Job to pray for them, and Job did, forgiving them fully. And God restored Job's fortune. He gave Job twice as much as he had before, more animals, a new home, more wealth, and best of all, 10 more children. Job lived a long, full life and died knowing that God is always faithful. The story of Job reminds us that life isn't always easy. Sometimes we go through storms that don't make sense. We face losses we didn't see coming. We ask questions we can't answer. But just like Job, we can still hold on. We may not understand why something is happening, but we can know who is holding us through it. God sees the whole story. He never leaves. Even in our darkest days, He is still good. And He is always, always worth trusting. So if you're going through a hard time right now, you're not alone. God sees you, He loves you, and He's still writing your story.